How's it going? Today I thought I'd share with you just a really quick and not very in-depth review of my new Peavey VYPYR 30 combo amp. I'm not in a band, I just play for my own entertainment, and I needed something a little bit more compact, and I was looking for something with some onboard effects and some different sounds. I don't own any effects pedals or racks or any of that stuff, so having something that had it all built in gave me the opportunity to play with some different sounds that I hadn't had the opportunity to do before. So let's take a close look at some of the features. When you power on the amp, if you don't have a guitar or anything plugged into it, it does this crazy light show. Don't be alarmed, it's supposed to do this. It'll stop doing this after you plug in your guitar. This is the Peavey VYPYR 30, so it's a 30 watt amp. Obviously you can see on the card here, 24 amp models, 11 rack effects, and 11 stomp box effects. Some of this is a little perhaps misleading, like the 5 effects at once. You can do that if you buy the optional Sampera pedal, which is another $100 or $200, I think, depending on which one you get. So I was a little bit disappointed by that, and one other thing that I'll get to in a moment, but really minor, and I'm going to buy the pedal at some point just because it'll be fun to play with, but right now this is all I have. So taking a look at the control panel, the far left you have your input for your guitar, and then your first 3 control knobs are for your stomp box effects, your amp modeling selection, and the rack effects. Each of these is a 2-mode knob. You select whichever effect you want to use, and then by pushing it, that enables you to come over to these other knobs and control various parameters of each effect. Each effect has a different set of parameters that you can control. For the amp modeling, pushing the knob changes from clean mode to crunch mode on that particular amp, or the clean channel versus the high gain channel, however you want to express that. And for the rack effects, the same thing, push it and you can change the parameters for each effect separately. The 5 knobs continuing to the right allow you to control pre-gain, low, mid, and high EQ, and post-gain. And then when the edit mode is engaged for an effect, you have control over the 2 parameters and delay, feedback, and level, and reverb with those same 5 knobs. Continuing to the right, you have your auxiliary input where you can plug in an iPod or MP3 player and play along with other music, and you have a headphone jack, and you can also use that as a record out, plug into any kind of recording hardware you might have. Won't plug directly into a computer. Higher levels of this line of amps have a USB port, but this one does not. I think there are options that you can use to make that happen, but it's not a direct plug and play. And you have your master volume knob. This one goes to 13. And your power switch. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on all the different effects. All of the specs are available for this thing online. I don't know what half these things are. I'm not a real big effects guy. I just turn the knob, and if I get a sound or an effect that I like, then I'll use it, but I don't really care. The main thing, this was, I alluded to another disappointment. This one was probably the biggest disappointment for me. I initially was going to go with the VYPYR 15, but I ended up making a deal that allowed me to get the VYPYR 30, and I was really happy about that because the VYPYR 30 has a looper on it. And I thought, well, that would be fun to play with, since I, play with myself, play by myself all the time, that having a looper might be fun. Well, the looper doesn't work unless you have the optional pedal. So I'm going to get the pedal, like I said, and eventually I'll get to play with it. At least it's here, so when I do have the pedal, I'll have that capability. But I was a tiny bit disappointed to not find out that I couldn't use that until I read the manual after I bought the amp and had it at home and was trying to figure out why the looper didn't do anything. So that's the controls in a nutshell. I'll play a few of the different sounds for you, just so you can get an idea of what the sound capabilities are. Keep in mind the sound quality is, this is being recorded over a regular video camera and then played over the internet, so the sound quality may not be that good, but it sounds quite good to me for doing what I'm trying to do. I think it's quite adequate. And again, I know nothing about the models of amps that are modeled on here. I have no idea if these sounds accurately replicate those models. I don't know what models they are. I'm clueless about this stuff. I just play guitar because I enjoy playing guitar. So if you're really hypercritical about, this has to be the exact sound of a 1963 whatever amp, I don't know. You'll have to check that out for yourself.